Oh, I got
I
here
was
just in
trying.
time.
So I was trying to stream Heroes of the Storm last night, and there's like a known issue where it like has to do with like the cores that it uses, and you have to like turn down your settings in a certain way to like get it to work sometimes. Yeah, kind of dumb.
Hmm.
At least specifically with OBS anyway. All right.
Is it a full screen game or?
Yeah, it can be, or it doesn't have to be.
If you have an issue using game capture, what you could do is you could go like borderless window mode and then do a window capture on that instead.
Yeah,
That might work.
OBS really does not like full screen things at all.
No. It's just
Could be.
sometimes the game just kind of doesn't read the game. Like game capture works pretty fine for me. Honestly, I haven't had any issues. I used to have issues with League of Legends on XSplit with that, so that's kind of the solution I found. So I captured the out of game client because if I use the game client, it would basically go into battle, capture that, and then when I was out of battle, it wouldn't capture the battle anymore to capture the out of game client. So what I did is I used window capture for the battle itself, for the actual game, and game capture for the out of battle client.
Good to know.
So yeah,
Maybe I'll
like
try it.
well, that was XSplit, but yeah, like if you're having trouble using game capture, just play around with window capture and things, see like how it works, see when it stops working, and all that, and you might find little loops or workarounds. It's kind of what I did with XSplit when things didn't work.
All right.
Where is the ROM?
Yeah, I just
Isn't
messaged
he
you.
usually a few minutes late though?
It depends. He was early last week.
God damn it. Fuck, I've been digging around so
Anyway,
long. My
off
lungo's
topic.
actually gotten a little cold now.
Off topic. The T-28's 105mm gun sucks ass. Like, holy crap, how do people deal with that gun?
The T20 prototype's kind of even worse than I could down.
All right. Hey, Thrum's here.
Where?
In Rule 20, yeah, he's been around for
He's lurking.
hours on Rule 20.
Maybe he was just tweaking his
Oh yeah,
character
he's
sheet or
also
something.
online.
There he is.
There we go.
You're late.
Ugh.
I was almost late taking the shower, and I'm like, fuck, I got like 5 minutes.
Pot meat kettle.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was me too. I had to finish dinner. I was like,
Alright.
okay, I've got 15 minutes to shower.
I joined the Discord before 7 p.m.
Nerd.
I was awake since
That's
5
some
a.m.
hype right there.
I just got
It
on so
wasn't even
quickly
hype.
I
I was
wasn't
just
sleeping.
lonely. I was hoping somebody else would join.
I almost did, but I was
I'm
busy playing dominoes, so.
Showronery,
That's almost sad.
Showronery, Showronery,
I'm not sure what you guys are complaining about. I woke up at 5 a.m. 5.
Ha!
That's
I
unheard
got you
of.
all beat. I got you all beat. I haven't even gone to sleep, so I didn't even wake up yet. Ha!
I came up with a great way
You're
to get
just-
my lazy ass out of the apartment.
To be
If
honest, though,
I-
you just fuck all the time, so you're just fucked.
Yeah, but whether it's alcohol.
Sleep doesn't apply to you. Like, you're no longer human.
If I walk 100 miles, I'm letting myself get this one cool video game console. It's called a... Shit, I forget what it's called, but it's basically like... It's shaped like a 3DS, but it's a full-fledged laptop.
Huh.
The size of a 3DS.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, so are we ready to start?
Nope.
Sure.
I was born ready.
Maybe.
In a world where she was born ready.
Hang on, let me do my luck check.
In a world where she thought she was born ready, but actually kinda wasn't, so things turned out badly.
Okay, so I can hit easily, but I will not damage anyone today.
She was actually
Also, can-
born in China. No,
Also,
Oh,
Dylan, can we...
she wouldn't be born at all, would she? If she
Can
was
we
born in China,
please
she was
change
born.
hold on.
Burnant's icon?
What's up? What do you need?
Burnant's icon. Can we please change it for my horrible
Yeah,
drawing? Please.
The-
Yes,
my token.
yes.
Oh, thank God. I can't stand to look at it.
Just
You don't have
the
to.
token that's on my character sheet right.
Here you go.
What I would want to use for it.
Martha's depiction of Bernard is very thick, with 2 C's.
All right.
Honestly, it's more real to how, at least like some details wise, it's more real to how he's supposed to look than the actual picture I used for him. But this one looks a lot better. So
Yeah, it doesn't look like shit.
he's supposed to have blue eyes and long brown hair and pale skin. But other than that, not much.
Cool, cool.
All right. So on the last session, just leave a pause, see if anybody does it.
Uh,
I got crossbow bolt in my back.
I
and
got
Leah
the
went
shit
unconscious.
kicked out of me.
Martha
Dungeons and
somehow
Dylan
saved
Ballsy.
someone with bardic inspiration while she wasn't even there.
All right. You were just so inspiring, you know. It was great. So, we had a pretty
Destroyed.
eventful session. So, it's all started off with zooming back in on the espionage mission that Leah had. She had met up with some people that were like Dalton Rain's kind of lackeys, and their mission was essentially to, you know, board the ship, hopefully take control of this prisoner, or at the very least keep Tuck's men from getting this prisoner, without much description of what the prisoner looked like. So they had some good rolls. They snuck up on the ship using some pretty clever stuff. They kind of murdered 3 people quickly, effectively, silently. Also thanks to a nat 20 on a stealth roll. And through exploring this ship, they did find that there was a princess down below. So the princess attempted to escape captivity, but was unsuccessful, and but did alert the ship that something was going on down below. So after the high alert, there was a big escape. There was a big explosion after Leah exploded this keg of gunpowder, and that helped draw attention away from them, and they were able to sneak away. So the whole time, it was just very kind of precarious that they didn't see Tuck's men. Well, of course, they ran into them afterwards, and a pretty close battle ensued. So I think Leah was on her last death saving throw when the party showed up, kind of like a T. Like Leah, in disguise, was on the back of another person, and Doluk, as they were running by, and the team was just like, "Oh, what's going on?" Helped them with these thugs, and essentially where we left off was these thugs getting slaughtered, and Leah escaping with Doluk off into the shadows. And I think that's the gist of it for the most part. At least on a kind of a higher level.
Yeah.
Had
My character did nearly die. My new character, but
Yeah,
I'm kind of okay now.
basically a double near death.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
pretty close. So, yeah, Martha. So we'll start off with you and Conrad. You guys are going back through the tunnels. The key that he had at this point, it's been unlocked, so no issues. He locks up behind him. You guys go through this kind of dank tunnel system of sorts. He seems to know his way, and guides you back to the inn. While that's happening, yeah, the party, you destroy these thugs. So I guess we'll pick up with you. Have just defeated the thugs, and you picked up Vernant.
before we left, Throm had walked off like right after the fight. So he didn't get to. So he just kind of walked off angrily back towards the end.
Hmm.
So he would have been probably gone by the time. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Just a heads up.
And Vernon is basically getting up, holding his broken bones, and heading back to the brothel for more rest because he really needs it.
I believe
Oh, yeah.
before we ended last session, I asked Zatota to pull a bolt out of my back because one of the thugs shot
Yeah.
it into me.
Yeah, you asked me to rip a bolt out of your back.
Yeah.
Didn't Throm
He
step
did do more
over?
damage to me.
Didn't Throm step over Vernon's body instead of dragging him over to?
Yes,
That's
Yeah,
right.
you just-
He did.
I nearly died because of you.
That's right. So he stepped over his body and then he walked off towards the end. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I asked you to drag him over, and you're just like, "Nah, you can. If you want him, you can take him."
I rolled like a 13 on my last death saving throw. And it
You
was
rolled
clutch.
a 11.
13. 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, you. I was 1 point off from killing you, saved by an inspiration, and then you rolled an 11 on your very last death save. No successes, 2 fails.
Made it in time.
Anyway,
Yeah. So that happened. Just want to throw it out there. Remember.
All right, so yeah, like I said, so some of you start walking off, and you're left here in the rain. At this point, it's pouring fairly heavily. It is dark. It is in the middle of the night, and you guys can still hear the distant sounds of people attempting to salvage what they can of the ship burning in the distance. You hear shouts and cries, and at this point, nobody appears to be around you, but you're just left here with the thugs in the middle of the street.
The thugs.
Vernon
Well, I'm out of
probably,
spell slots, so I
Vernon,
need to
Vernon,
rest.
Vernon probably tries to take a torch out of his like satchel and like tries to light it, and then remembers that it's raining and goes shit and puts it away and like smacks himself.
Can
to wake
I
himself
walk
up.
up to Vernon and just say, hey, and then just do a light spell on him directly?
Sure.
So
It
now he's
won't-
glowing.
yeah, okay, it won't feel very good for my eyes. He just kind of goes, ugh. That's bright, but I can see now, so thank you.
You're welcome.
So,
I haven't seen magic like this.
And I just look at him quizzically.
it's a good thing I.
He's always looking at you quizzically.
It's a good thing I woke you up, or else you wouldn't have seen it anyways.
That is very true. And I thank you for that.
And I believe I interrupted your introduction earlier. You were saying something, and I told you to stop because there's a ship that exploded.
Interesting. Was I introducing myself? I don't remember
You-
that. But,
When we all met up, you started saying something, and I told you you can wait.
well, if I were introducing myself, I am Vernon of House Barclay.
Zlatota of Clan Vithmalik. And people don't know these ones.
Well, I
So-
think I'm back off to the brothel that we rented because, well, I'm looking a little worse for wear.
Right.
Yeah. Save me. I need to get my spell slots back.
Oh, my fault.
Well, yes, I'll ask the rest of you your names tomorrow, because I don't feel like sticking around in case these guys have friends.
Yeah, you all seem like quite the motley crew, and I'm alone here, so I see no reason not to meet up. me and some other of these people are staying at a nearby brothel and tavern called the Silver Dwarf, I believe.
And me and Throm, the other one, were at the Barking Soul.
Interesting. Well, good night to you, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I start marching off toward the Silver Dwarf.
Okay. And the rest of you also marching off as well?
My response is in chat.
Yep, I'm just gonna go ahead and head back.
Okay. So, as you guys, walk off in the night, illuminated by the
what
lights.
time is it?
Oh, it's like in the dead of night. You're not entirely sure because you just woke up, but it's
Yeah.
anywhere from like 11 to 3. It's like dead of night.
Okay.
Just past Heist.
Yeah, it's also kind of hard to tell because it's raining out too, so you don't really have the moon really to guide you.
Mm-hmm. So imagine everyone's going to be sleeping in a little bit. Get their actual long rest.
Oh, could I say Martha was making soup on their way back?
On their way
Or
back?
when she got back.
Yeah, I
No,
was gonna say
when she got.
Yeah, when you get back, yeah, sure. You can say that you fire up some and you start making some soup. They're not far behind you. They're only like
Yeah.
15 minutes behind you or so.
Because you inspired
It's-
Dakota and then you left.
She's really stressed, so it's not her best soup.
Yeah,
It's edible.
it's okay. It doesn't. It's nothing spectacular. You just kind of like grab odds and
It's
ends.
just warm broth.
Yeah, pretty much. You just grab odds and ends and be like, oh, here's some celery butts and like some nubs of carrots and like whatever it is you have. Yeah. So you guys walk off, leaving the dead bodies of the thugs behind you, and then we're gonna pan over to Leah. So as everybody walks off, so Leah, you have a moment of kind of like reprieve. Everybody's focused on the thugs. You take Dolik and you back away into the shadows of the nearest alleyway. It's fairly easy because the rain masks your footfalls and it's dark.
All right. Okay. First off, do we actually have any cover from rain right now, or are we just like, is there something above us that's just kind of covering rain, or is it just open alley?
It's open alley. If you hug the wall, you have like a slight guard from it, but you're mostly in the open at this point.
Right. How far away would you say we are from Dalton's place?
It's not right down the street, but it's fairly close. And at this point, just to give you like a timeline, you've snuck off, and the battle is like just finishing up at this point. You can see they're just starting to like group together. Well, you probably don't see it, but
Right. Alright, so I'm gonna sort of someone turns the thief into a Dalek and go, you're one of Dalton's men, if I'm correct, so would he have any medical supplies in his hideout?
yeah. And he's just kind of like clutching his legs and nodding.
I'm gonna kind of give him a look and say, come on, man, just walk it off.
You look down and notice the bolt that's literally through his
Yeah, I know.
thigh.
I know, that's why I'm saying it.
And he grits his teeth and he picks himself up and holds himself like on the wall.
Alright, come on, man. I'm gonna help him out, I'm still gonna have him by the shoulder, but obviously I don't think I can lift him too easily myself, so I'm just sort of acting as support for when he's stepping with his bad leg.
Right. So you just give him the shoulder support like a human crutch. So you guys begin to hobble off down the street, and you can hear what sounds like some scuffling up ahead. You hear like what sounds maybe like a metal trash can or something gets rolls out, and at that point you see like this is another like T intersection sort of. You see the person that you had captured just bolting. And you see Anrod a few seconds later just like clopping off behind her, but he does not look too well off. And then a few seconds behind him, you see two of the like other thugs.
Right, Leah is not exactly too well off on HP, if I'm correct. 9 HP. How far is this off in front of us?
Off in
And
front of you, it's maybe like 35 or 40 feet.
Right. So I've just seen them run by, right?
Yeah, you can just barely tell that it's the person you captured based on her attire. That's kind of like you get a brief flash of it as she like runs across your field of vision. And Anrod has a torch out right now, so he's visible. And then you just see some mostly silhouettes that are the same shape roundabouts as the thugs.
I actually think I just came up with. I think I just had a fun idea, actually. Ooh, if this works, this will be brilliant. Alright. First off, okay, I'm just gonna look at Dalek real quick, and since he is a thief as well, I'm gonna just ask, you got some ball bearings on you?
He like nods. He tries to like nod with his head, but he's kind of like he twitches away from the pain, and you can see at his waist he has kind of like a almost like a utility belt. He has like 3 or 4 pouches.
Right. Okay. Let me just check something real quick in my inventory. Ba, 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 ba. Let's see. Right. The bolt through his leg, from what I can see, like, is he like bleeding like a lot from that, or is like the arrow like actually like holding off some of the blood? Like, is it actually not fucking it with his blood too much?
It's bleeding pretty bad. Make a medicine check.
Let me see. Up.
Yeah, it's you can see there's blood pouring out of it, but you're not entirely sure like if it's fatal or not.
Right. Let's see how I'm gonna do this. Alright. This guy I've actually sort of gotten some more trust for, and I'm gonna need him in the future, so what I'm gonna do here. Alright. Leah's gonna take the ball bearings real quick, and she's going to start doing something. First off, she's just gonna say, I'm gonna need you to keep quiet about what you're about to see. She's going to pull her hood up, and that clothing she had wrapped around her boobies, she's going to start unwrapping that. Like, she's not turned towards him. She's got her back towards him.
Yeah, it's
She's gonna
fairly
put her-
dark
Tips
anyway.
She's gonna put her. She's gonna put her hood back down, and she's gonna use that cloth to sort of wrap around his leg, like on top of the, like above, like where the arrow struck, like to sort of slow down the bleeding.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
There's a Oh, yeah, sure.
No, I was gonna say go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. There's a secret between you and me. And now she's gonna try to get on top of the building that she's right next to.
Okay,
She's
go
gonna
ahead,
climb
make
up
an
on top of the building.
acrobatics.
+8, come on, don't fuck up. Yes!
Okay, this was a high DC just because there's not a whole lot to grab onto, and it is slick. So there's a couple times where even you almost slip, but your reflexes, you grab back up and catch on a better vantage point. Um, Fairly quickly, though, you're able to navigate yourself on top of the roof. You can see maybe 25 or 30 feet in front of you diagonally now at this point. Um, the torchlight that's it's moving, what you can assume to be in tandem with Anrod.
Right. Before I head over, I'm just gonna say real quick. I'm gonna go and deal with that. Try not to move around too much. If you can, make it back to Dalton's place, but again, try not to kill yourself doing it. Right. She's gonna sort of start going around, like on top of the buildings, like trying to. Again, she's gonna try to cut them off. If that makes sense. So she's not aiming to be in front of the chick. She's aiming to be between big fat cunt, big tall cunt, and the two thugs. Sorry, I'm terrible with names, so that's what I'm calling him that for now. I remember it was like A or E that his name started with.
Okay.
Thank you, Anrod.
So go ahead and so you're running along. Um, it is a little easier for you, being that you're on the roof, so you do have a vantage point. But they're probably a good, 15 feet down or so, at least.
Yeah.
From where you are. So at this point, you've run over. You're running on top of them, and it seems that they haven't noticed you at this point. Go ahead and make a stealth roll. One of them looks up as there's like a crack of lightning, and for a second you almost wonder if he saw you, but nothing. As they keep continuing to run, you are over on top of them, still kind of keeping up with them.
Right. I'm assuming that we're still running like sort of through somewhat narrow alleyways here.
Yeah.
Right. She's gonna drop the ball bearings that she got from Dalek in front of the two thugs, which with the rain being already slippery and they can't really see, I reckon they won't notice that until they start slipping on their asses.
What's the DC on that?
What, a DC for ball bearings?
Pretty sure it's 13. I don't know. 13 or 15.
I'm gonna go ahead and give them disadvantage, given that it is dark. They're running.
DC 10. DC. It's a DC 10.
Okay. It is, like I said, it is going to be with disadvantage though, because it's wet. It is completely dark, and they're running full speed.
Mm. If there's a thing if there was such a thing as a double disadvantage, that would definitely be that.
Nat 1 and a 3. So.
Yeah, they fall on their asses.
Yeah, they are just running full force as you throw them down. It's perfect. Like, you almost get them at Anrod's feet, but he just pulls ahead by a couple of inches, and you see he doesn't even notice what goes on as one of them just smashes against the wall. I'm gonna have him go ahead and take. No, I'll have you roll it. Roll 1d6 damage. As they both topple over each other, they're both prone, and the one that was in front takes 4 damage as he smacks his head off the concrete or the cobble, and you just hear a. What the fuck are you doing? Get up! Get him! I would say if you're going to strike, they are now prone. They are attempting to get up. You're 15 feet above them on the rooftop.
No, she's gonna head up.
Is not there.
No, I'm just asking metagame wise, but I don't remember.
But they have heavy crossbows, and I'm on low HP as well, so I would rather not do an engagement with them if possible.
Okay.
So I'm gonna sort of see that they've fallen prone and that this is my plan, like there's just more of a distraction to help Anrod get some more distance.
Yeah,
She's now going to start going after Anrod and the princess.
you've definitely given him some leeway. At this point, by the time they pick themselves up, Anrod's gained about a half a block on them
Nice.
as they trip over each other and they have to step carefully. So Anrod continues to chase the princess, but you don't see that he's gaining much of anything. He's just trying to keep up.
Alright, 1 second. Okay, so first off, she said, just to kind of want to recap some information here, she said she was a princess. You told me which princess she was, like the land she was the princess of. So she was the princess of where? Valstad? Valstand?
I don't know.
She
What
said
was
to
she-
me.
I know. But it was also a very stressful situation. If you don't remember.
Oh, you dick. Okay.
Go ahead and make an intelligence
I'll
check.
take it. Alright, intelligence check.
Okay. So as you're trying to rumble through your mind, you're like, oh, what was she the princess of? And like all that's going through your mind is like everything that's happened so far. You're trying to like rewind it back to the point where you actually had the conversation in the first kind of 30 seconds of meeting this person. You're like, ah, it was, I think it began with an F. Princess Whitfield. Whitfield, that's what it was. As you regain that, and as you think a couple seconds, you see Enrod's having a really rough time keeping up with her. You can see that she's kind of like, again, remembering her physique. She was fairly muscular, and she's light on her feet for sure. So as you're trying to go over, where was it she's from? You remember the pale skin, the white, almost like blonde, almost white hair, and then the name Whitfield. Right. Fristall. That's where she comes from.
First hole. Got it. Let me just do a quick check around here. Alright. Okay, king. Okay, I have 2 plans in mind. One's more of a backup, but let's see. Okay, so how far away am I from them right now? Since I was sort of trying to catch up with them over the roofs after I did a thing with the thieves.
Just based on like you kind of like threw the ball bearings and like you didn't waste much time. You saw them trip and then you kept going, so you're not far behind them.
Okay.
I mean, still, you're probably from Anrod, even given everything, you're probably like 15 or 20 feet away, but then also like 15 or 20 feet above as well.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna. This one's gonna be a very dice thing. I have two. I have a backup. Don't worry. So these are sort of little narrow streets and all that, but these are in general sort of where the insides of houses and all that are. So in general, there's like a lot of laundry and ropes and shit sort of hanging on these areas, like laundry ropes, you know?
Yeah, you see some of that, and then there'll be like maybe a long stretch that's like a back of a warehouse where there's nothing, or again there's a couple of trash cans here and there.
Right.
Or,
so
or
are there
steps that jut out about halfway, half the space of the alley.
right? So are there any of those ropes and laundry areas like in front of the where they are running? So ahead of where they are in alley-wise.
Go ahead and make a perception check, and I only say that because it's really hard for you to see
Yeah.
very far in front.
Yeah, I'm sort of using the, fuck's sake, I have to check every time. Anrod's torch, like, for a little bit of more light since he is ahead and lighting that general area up. But okay.
Yeah, and that's kind of what gives you, really anything, right? So as you're trying to look ahead, you see like a glimmer, which is just enough to catch your eye as you see like a silver clasp that's on some piece of clothing shines enough. It allows you to trace where there is in fact a rope.
Right. So here's time for the first plan, which is going to rely on a very lucky one on a roll, which I'm assuming is probably gonna have a high DC or something. But if this makes it, it's gonna be awesome. If it doesn't, I have another plan that, if it works, is also awesome. All right. I have fun plans today. Leah is going to take out her short bow, and she's actually going to aim for the where the rope connects to the buildings. Hopefully, that stuff with all the laundry as well falls in front, or even better, on top of her. And yeah, no, on top. Yeah, let's sort of try to time it with on top of her, and hopefully trips her up, or at least makes her slow down enough and gets in her way that Anrod can catch up.
Okay. This is going to be a very difficult shot. I'm going to go have you make an attack roll with disadvantage.
Yep. I have a backup plan. If this doesn't work, I can fall back to that. Even that's sort of a little risky, but this makes the game interesting. So let's see it. Please not 20. Please not 20. Ooh.
Okay. 15. That is enough to hit it. So as you loose, as you exhale at the last second, you go. As you hear like just a slight like clipping sound, as you see that clasp that caught your eye descend in an arc. I'm gonna go ahead and have her make a dexterity saving throw. Okay, you see as it comes down almost like right on top from just the field of the torch, like just on the outskirts. You're like, yes, I got her. And you just see as at the last second, as she does a barrel roll kind of in front and picks up and continues to run. Anrod just clomps over the cloak, which had the clasp that you saw.
Right. Alright, time for plan B then.
Anrod did gain about 5 feet on her. She lost a little bit having to do a barrel roll, but she's still in front of him.
Alright. Time for plan B then. Right. If I kept going along the roof okay, actually, well, I wouldn't really know that, but I would know sort of what my speed relative to her was, like from sort of the way I've been running. So the way I've been running, have I sort of been catching up to them,
Little bits and pieces where, like, if they turn a corner, you have the advantage because you have the diagonal in some cases. So you are gaining, but it's kind of a slow gain. You know what I mean?
All right, then let's see. Now, how recognizable or different would you say I look without the Like, how different would you say I look from my disguise with my natural self? So, like, the whole mask with the more male physique and different voice the entire time, from when I'm just flat out with my face out, breast out, and chick voice.
I mean, in your mind, you believe yourself to be very different, but it's very hard to tell. You know what I mean? It's like because it's hard to perceive things about yourself like that. Especially like if you're trying to check right now, it's in the dark. Like you don't have a mirror to check and be like, oh no, like yeah, again, like I said, in your mind, it seems like fairly different, but again, it's hard to judge.
Right. This could be interesting. Let me just see something here real quick. Yeah, I have some. Okay. Right. It's a tough choice, it really is. Alright, no, I'm just gonna go with an instinct off. Fuck it, let's try it. So Leah, she's been wearing a hood this whole time, so she's gonna take the hood off and sort of just leave her common clothes on. That's in her Nate. She's gonna put the mask in her bag. And she's going to, she has two rapiers. She's had the fancy one and the original one. I'm assuming the fancy one also had its own scabbard.
Correct.
Right. What she's gonna do? She's gonna put her. She's gonna put her the one with Ervin's scabbard back in the bag, like where it was before, like the area before, and she's going to put her rapier in the other scabbard, so it's different. It looks different. I mean, actually, not. No, she might as well just take out the different rapier. Like, so right now she's got the crappier rapier, which is in the fancy rapier scabbard, if that makes sense. Because she is attached to Ervin's scabbard, so she's been using that for her better, for the fancy rapier she found in Lady of the Woods. So she's put her old rapier in that rapier scabbard. Trying not to be too confusing here.
Okay.
So yeah, she's going to switch basically rapiers, put the mask in the bag, take the hood off, and just keep her common clothes on. And well, stop saying the voice obviously. And now she's gonna try to get ahead of them for a little ahead of them.
Okay, so as you do that, you do lose a little bit of speed because it's hard to like sprint while you're like trying to like put all this stuff in your backpack and like do all this stuff. So initially you do lose a little bit, and then once you're like ready to go, you start sprinting. It does take like another 5 or 10 minutes to actually catch up, because yes, you do have little gains here and there, but also like you have to like jump and actually do climbing while running and stuff. You're kind of like doing like parkour, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, Assassin's Creed style.
yeah, it does take a while, and you can see Anrod at this point. He starts losing wind. He's falling behind, and this princess is just still going. So yeah, it takes you about 5 or 10 minutes to catch up. At this point, once you finally catch up, there's like, it's right where this starts to break away into like a more open area of the docks where like the fishermen are and stuff like that, and some of the more open warehouses. So it's like right as you kind of end where the alleyways are, she's breaking through, and you're like pretty much right on top of her, about again like 15 or 20 feet up.
Right. So Leah's gonna get off the building. Like she's gonna get a little more distance in front of her and get off the buildings, like ahead of her.
Yeah, it's hard to. Oh, I see what you're saying. Because she's still straight running, and I'm saying
Yeah,
so at this point, yeah, it'll take you, a minute or whatever to like climb down off of the building.
Yeah, that's why she's running ahead of her in the buildings before she gets down.
I see what you're saying. So you're trying to meet her before she can get out of the alleyways? Is that what you're trying to do?
Basically. Like, not be right
Okay.
next to her, but like a little bit ahead.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Just go ahead and just make a straight athletics check to see if you can like out sprint her, because there is a decent amount of, you're like sprinting for like 5 or 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Doing parkour. Okay. So, you are able to make it in front of her, and as you kind of like quickly attempt to scale down, um, she's in front of you, but by like a couple of feet. She turns to the left, like as she's running, and she like catches you out of the corner of her eyes, and you can see she has like a worried expression on her face, and she like hikes up her dress and like attempts to like sprint even harder. You can hear at this point she's like just sprinting as much as she can.
So wait, did she saw me climbing down, or she saw me like when I was down on the ground?
She saw you when you're down on the ground, and you're like, she is in front of you at this point, but only by like feet. Like she's like 5 feet in front of you.
Right. Okay, let's see then. Right. Again, just doing the check here. Okay, that's that person. Okay. Okay. So she's going to start going after her with think of it as like a worried expression. So she's just gonna try to look like an innocent. Well, she's kid. I mean, to her, she's a kid. I'm assuming because like 17 years old. You know, she doesn't exactly. She's not a toddler, but she, you know.
Okay.
And she's just gonna sort of go, "Wait, miss, wait."
Go ahead and make a performance check. Because you can see when your eyes meet, she doesn't. I'm trying to think of how to word it, but she doesn't.
Oh wait, I don't have this advantage anymore. I don't have this advantage anymore. Whoops.
Yeah, she doesn't appear to be like. I'm trying to think of the word to put it, but she seems alarmed when she sees you in the dead of night in the rain.
She's not in the right of mind, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
She doesn't seem rational or anything like that. She's more just panicked.
Well, I don't think it's a matter of being rational. It's like the middle of the night, nobody's up, and she turns and sees a person, and she's being chased. So.
Yeah, she's cautious.
There's like a blip where she almost stops, but then she like turns and, "I'm sorry," and she just keeps running.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I'm thinking here because I have the plan in mind of just thinking like what to say and exactly here.
So at this point, she is running ahead. You can either stop and think about what your next plan is going to be, or you can chase after her. You can also hear footfalls from behind you as Anrod is starting to pick up, but again, he is definitely losing wind.
Mm-hmm. Right. She's going to sort of keep chasing. Fuck. She's chasing her, but she's also like she's already sort of planned this out in her head. I'm just thinking exactly like the way to word it because I know what I want to say. I'm just thinking like exactly the way I'm wording it.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll say to imitate, because you did have 5 or 10 minutes that you actually had to spend catching up, and we could say that you devised this plan. We're gonna go ahead and pan over.
Thank you.
So, Martha, you get to the inn. You begin to cook some of this broth up, hoping to warm up.
At this point, she isn't even really cooking. She's just standing there stirring the pot, looking very anxious. Maybe pacing around the kitchen a bit, chopping up some vegetables, and just throwing it in for no real reason. She seems to be stress cooking at this point.
Conrad, kind of, like, he joins you. He opens up the door and leads you in. He spends a few minutes with you, and then he goes back out the door to the inn.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he like once you're all set, he kind of like looks around like worriedly and goes out.
Oh dear.
And a few seconds after that, you see I can't remember. It's Vernant. He strolls in
Vernon.
as well as Eldrin, because they're the two that are at that inn.
Yeah.
Boys, did you see where Conrad went? He just left.
Did we, Mr. Dungeon Master?
Yeah, I mean it was dark. A figure brushed past you. You can assume it was Conrad. Like it was definitely his build, but
Yeah. I think he just brushed past us, but I didn't necessarily see where he went. No. Why? Are you worried?
Yes, he was just here a second ago.
You want somebody to go and check
She's
up on him?
sort of holding the knife, and you can tell she's starting to shake a bit. I
I could
better
try
go
to
after him. I
okay.
should. Here, I made some soup. It's not very good, but I figured you fellows have had quite a fight. I can tell.
Okay.
Sure, that'd be lovely.
Thank you.
And with that, she's probably still in like soaking wet in her nightgown or something with leather armor on.
yeah,
So she
everybody's
just
pretty soaked at this point.
So she just grabs her quarterstaff and loot and just rushes out the door.
And at this, Vernon looks over to the sun elf and goes, "I don't think I ever caught your name."
Wait, sorry, come on, repeat? I can't really hear.
Uh,
Let me just turn my volume.
as Vernon turns to you and goes, "I don't think I ever caught your name."
Okay, so I'm just gonna stare at him and just say, Eldrin.
That
Aldrin,
works.
could you go with me, please? She says, sort of at the edge of the door.
Sure, but I kind of ran out of spells, but I imagine we won't need to fight anytime soon.
For emotional support. I don't like going out alone.
As much as I would like a little bit more adventure, I've got a couple broken ribs to tend to, so I'm gonna get to bed.
You rest up, I'll follow her.
Which I imagine Vernon actually hasn't broken everything, because he was surrounded by people and beat with maces, but let's just say broken ribs for now.
Well, better than broken spine. Okay, so I'm just gonna follow Martha out. Her frantic, me just falling behind.
So as you throw the door open, you're met with the sounds of just pouring rain, thunder. You can go ahead and make an investigation check, one of you. But it is dark. It is
What
wet.
do you have in investigation? I have a 1, so
Same.
I guess Martha?
Knowing my luck that Leah took, I probably will roll on that one, so you do it.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, not bad.
Hang on, let me see if I'm right.
So as
yeah.
this, I was just gonna say, so Martha rolled. It was just one roll.
He was just.
You kind of you're on the lookout for him, but you do see out of the corner of your eye, you just see like the back of a figure as it like down an alleyway.
She's going to follow. Sort of hand clutched to her chest in that generic worried woman pose almost. She does not like the idea of Conrad being out there when it's clear something happened. And she's also a bit confused as to why he left. It doesn't sit right for her.
So as you take off and go after the figure, the rain continues to just pour down on you, and as it smacks against your back and the top of your head, it chills you to the bone. It is definitely like It is about fall
It is
time.
a storm.
Yeah, it is a storm. It is the end of the short summer in Nordvinden, and you can tell these cool rains are.
Oh, so they're not just hard rains, it's chilly.
Yeah, it's chilly. And as you begin to lose body heat, you just think images begin to flash through your mind of just you and Conrad together, and what is he doing, and why is he out here? And as the rain continues to beat down on you, we shift over to Leah.
Alright. Oh, I've got this. This is a beautiful plan I've thought up of. Which could actually probably end up going for 2, 3, or 4 D&D sessions in the end, but we'll see. Alright. So she's chasing up. So she's still going after the princess again with sort of the worried expression. And she just sort of goes, "Why are you running, miss? Tell me what's wrong."
I'm being chased.
Chased?
Why are you running?
I just ran into 2 thugs in the alleyway. They said they wanted to take me to Tuck.
I don't know who this Tuck fellow is, but he doesn't seem like good business. Good luck to you. And she's just running.
Mm-hmm. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I think I know some people that can help both of us. They're currently in a tavern, right? That the Silver Dwarf is. It's a tavern.
Yeah, it's a brothel, but yes, it's tavern.
Tavern/brothel. I think tavern's gonna sound a little better for a princess. I know some people that can help us at a tavern. The Silver Dwarf. They've helped me many times before. I think they could save us.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Ah, now I get a low roll. Damn it.
She looks back at you for a second while she's running, kind of like looks in front of her where she's going, then looks back at you. Again, this is kind of like a more open area that you're in now.
Yep.
She looks back. I'm sorry, I don't know who to trust right now. But if you'd like, I'll make a distraction so you can get away safely.
What's your name? Can I ask? What's your name, miss?
My name is and she kind of like pauses for a moment, and you can hear her like breathing heavily. She's my name is Elaine.
Elaine.
What is yours, young miss?
I'm Leah.
Leah. I wish you luck, Leah.
Alright, Leah's gonna dash off. So now she is she still running, or is she sort of doing like a stand her ground sort of thing?
No, she's still running.
Okay,
For sure. You can see the torch of Anrod is like at this point like 150, 200 feet behind you guys. Just like he like clops down at like a. You see him like double over on his knees, and he's just like huffing and puffing at this point.
Okay. We still okay. So, is there like a lot of distance between me and her still, or is she still like in the process of running off?
Yes.
Right. Let's see.
Make a perception check.
Wait. No, it's okay. Ash is running off. Leah's just gonna kind of yell, "If anything does happen to me, you promise to save me, right, miss?"
She there's no response. She looks back at you.
And Leah, now she's actually gonna give her a faint smile, pull out her rapier, and actually start dashing towards Anrod.
She gives you kind of like a curious look.
Right, and Leah's actually gonna try. She's actually gonna. So yeah, she's dashing towards Anrod at this point.
Go ahead and just for me, just make a deception check.
Deception. Where's this? There it is.
Okay. She looks at you curiously, but then you notice too that she just looks very winded and exhausted at this point. She kind of looks back as you charge towards, and then kind of like gives you you see a brief smile as you begin to charge towards Anrod.
Right. Now, tell me when I do get to Anrod.
Okay, so yeah, game-wise, just because of how far away he is. So if you're using your dash, and everything, like if you're using everything to catch up to him, it would take you like 2 rounds. So you just sprint, and it takes you about like 12 or 15 seconds to get there.
She's going to just run normally towards him, not a dash. So like her normal movement towards him.
Okay, so it takes probably closer to like 20 or 30 seconds to get to him then.
Yep. Alright. When Leah does get to him, she's going to sort of... Actually, no, what she's going to do is she's going to reach into her backpack, and she's going to try and... What is it? She's going to try to... What's the word? Discreetly flash him her mask. Like, she's going to show... Like, to him it's obvious, but to other people, like, it's like... Looks like they're sort of going at it. Like, you get the idea, right? So she's kind of like her clothes or arm covers it from other people. To him, like, it's up, like he can easily see it, you know?
Okay, not a problem. So you do that, and he looks to you real quick and then gives you a nod.
I tried saying, don't worry, I've got a plan here.
I didn't know you were
Just
a little
back off for
girl.
now. I didn't know you were a big mouth. Just sit back to Dalton's for now. If all is well, we'll take 2 birds out. We'll take 2 birds with 1 stone with us. We'll take care of our little tuck problem and still get the princess in the end.
Where's Dolok?
He's further back in an alley. I've tended to his wounds as best as I can, but his leg is shot.
I see. And at this point, as you guys are talking, a bolt whizzes past your head. As it sticks into a building, like maybe 10 or 15 feet, like to your right. You look over and you can see, again, like you guys are illuminated in the dark, right? Because you have the torch. So you can just barely see a couple of silhouettes. One of them is bending down in like the action, like he's trying to reload.
They caught up quick.
Shit.
Right.
Anrod goes. He takes his crossbow and he takes a shot at one of them. It just goes way to the side. Fuck.
Leah's gonna put on her mask real quick and use her short bow against them. She's going to aim. So we saw one crossbow. So I'm assuming the other one hasn't fired yet.
Correct. The other one is just bringing it up to fire now. I would let you have a shot before that one.
Right. So I'm gonna take a shot at the one that's not reloading. So the one that is ready to fire.
Okay. What's the range on the short bow? I believe it's like 120, 240 or something.
I think it's 120.
There should be two numbers. The first is how far it can go without being at disadvantage. Then the second number is like the maximum.
80 and 320.
Okay, so it is at disadvantage. So go ahead and roll one more time.
Right. Okay, then.
Okay, so better. Okay, so yeah, you do hit. You can see it just kind of like glazes. What you assume possibly like the shoulder region, but you see a motion like there's an impact of some sort.
Yeah, and that is nearly a max damage roll as well.
Yeah, well, we're going off the damage on the first one that you rolled. I just wanted you to roll one more time so you could.
Okay,
Yeah, have disadvantage.
That would have been awesome. 7 is like fucking nearly max. 8's the max damage I can get of this.
Okay.
Right, and
so another one.
How far? So okay, so since it was at a disadvantage, I'm assuming they're further than 80 feet away.
Yep, I'm gonna roll this twice. Hold on.
She's still got movement though. I was gonna sort of look for something nearby to use as cover.
So as you're doing that, you're kind of like going in, sliding into something that's in cover, and the one that you shot at loses a bolt. It doesn't even come close to hitting you.
Yeah, and the first one doesn't hit either. My AC's 12.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that it was with disadvantage. They also have disadvantage. The first one I did a GM roll, so you didn't see it. But now that you actually can see it.
Okay.
Anrod, actually, we'll go ahead and do initiative, but we're gonna go ahead and pan back to Martha first. So, and also Zlatota and Throm. So, you guys return and don't really investigate it much further. So, until further notice, you guys return back to the inn. Return to the door, still broken, and enter your room. Martha, you guys are out in the pouring rain as you see this figure slip off down an alleyway. You pursue. Go ahead, Martha, and make another investigation check.
Well, shit.
So, as you continue to go down, there's like this long and skinny, like S alleyway. That's what this figure had turned down. As you go, you just barely see this figure duck out of sight, like down this path. You come across and you have no idea where it splits off, kind of like two different ways. It's kind of like there's a path straight in front, and there's a path like to the left. And again, these are like narrow alleyways. They kind of curve up and around, so it's not like a big straight street that you can see.
Shit. Okay. Are there any, is it muddy? Are there footprints on the ground? Or is it like cobble?
It is cobble. It is also kind of muddy, but it's very again, it is pitch black. It is wet. It is just very difficult. The spaces are very tight. It's very difficult to gauge anything at this point of
Very dark.
which direction he went.
Very dark. I just turned to Martha and just say, staff, and then just do a light spell on it because I canceled the wall and burn it.
I probably should have done that again. Or at the beginning, but yeah. She now has light on her staff.
If you didn't cancel that, then Vernon was trying to go to sleep while glowing. That's very amusing to me.
He didn't tell me to cancel it, so I'm like, Alright. I only cancel the one I needed.
All right, can she see any better with the light, or is it even worse? Because you know how rain is.
Yeah, you can see marginally better. You do have some cover from the rainfall being in the thin alley, but it's still, again, it's very difficult. There's not really a whole lot that you can make out at this point. You don't see any tracks that were left behind. You don't see like anything like that. You know, you're unsure. Like, did this person continue going straight down the path, or did they go left down the path? It's really it's not easy to tell at this point.
Well, we have to keep going one way. She sort of looks down it, and she's just looks at her friend, and she's, I, you go left, I'll go forward.
Can we tell what kind of area we're in, by the way? Like the general part of town?
Yeah, you are kind of where the Silver Dwarf is kind of like on the northern end of the market square. So where you guys are now are like kind of to the west a little bit. Like it was westward direction.
Okay. I'll just be like, if you want to split up, sure, but I don't think it's wise considering what I've been through already.
Then pick one, quickly.
So it's either left or straight ahead. Okay. Why don't we try straight ahead?
Okay, she's going to do that. And as a last ditch attempt, she's going to call out Conrad's name,
So
which probably isn't smart, but
Martha
she's
just
desperate at this point.
calls out, Conrad, Conrad! Go ahead and make another investigation check as you run straight ahead.
Does the area look suspicious?
What did you say?
Does the area look suspicious?
I mean, it's kind of looks like a slummy sort of area, to be honest. It's kind of like these thin alleyways again, like you can see, like definitely lower class for sure. So however your character would take that. I mean, again, there's no like other people about right now. It's raining. But you can just tell by like how compact all the buildings are. They don't seem to be very well kept up with. But
Okay.
Martha, you do see up in front. There's like an overturned trash can. You don't see any figures, but in your investigation, you do see like again, it seems to be like something recent, like just happened.
An overturned trash can. Well, that's nice.
Okay, let's go that way. Come on. Come on. I don't understand. Where would he go? He didn't want me to go out. I don't understand why he would suddenly leave.
So as you you go kind of like past the overturned trash can, you kind of look back for a second and notice there's like a like some grating underneath. What looks to be like steel grating.
Oh, shit. Do we have to go in the sewers? Damn it, Conrad. Okay.
Well,
Eldrin, help lower this fat old lady down. She's going in the sewers.
What can I say? Conrad likes to explore tunnels.
Oh, hush.
You're asking me to perform a strength check.
I mean, Martha is. Let me double check her weight here. Oh, her weight. I just put she thick. So,
Yeah, she thick.
My strength modifier is -1.
So
well, at the very least, cushion my blow.
So as you Conrad's already done that. So go ahead and yeah. As you look down, you can see that this grating is kind of like off, like it's like tilted somewhat, to see that it's kind of like up and tilted and sitting on top of where it's supposed to normally rest, if that makes sense. So it's not fit snugly into place like it should. It is definitely out of place. You can easily push it out of the way, and you can see just below is just dark. You
She
can
has
see
her
a
light on
slight
the staff.
you can see a slight glimmer from the water that is running underneath all like this rainwater. It appears to be like sloped downwards somewhat. As you bring your staff like kind of further in to illuminate, you can indeed see that it looks to be like what appears to be like a sewage path. There's like a trough in the middle, and there's kind of like a walkway to the side where you could, maintain the sewer area.
Thank God I'm not in my pretty dress. Okay, let's go down. She's going to try and climb down there.
Ladies first.
Oh, you're such a darling. Okay. What would that be? A strength saving throw, or straight strength, or acrobatics, athletics?
Go ahead and make acrobatics.
Or a
It's
constitution,
not
just from
it's
the
not
fucking
a
smell.
it's not far down, but it's certainly slick. So as you're kind of like you try and wedge yourself, and you just, because it's a little slick, and you just as there's just like a wet slapping sound, because it's all like slick, right? And you just see Martha on her back, just looking up at you like, she's about, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 inches away
Oh,
from
there's shit in my hair. That's
from
going
the
to take
water.
forever to get out.
I just imagine him. I just imagine him trying to push her, and then when it finally happens, it's just.
I just look down at Marfa and say, "So, how's the water?"
Oh, it's just lovely. Very lukewarm.
No, it's actually very cold.
Okay, it's fucking cold. Get down here before I slaughter you.
That's a shitty way to spend an evening.
And I just, whoop.
All right, yeah, no problem. You can see Eldrin does like this, just very elegant, like he like slides down in one fluid motion, lands on his feet like with a flourish.
Martha just gives a very slow clap.
Shall we continue? And I just move forward.
Yes. Well, I'm guessing by the looks of it, should we go up or down? Because it's sort of sloped here.
Well, it is very wet. If he tried to climb upwards, he might have a harder time.
Okay, so we're going down. Let's go.
Yeah. I don't fancy slipping, do you?
I'm just going to pretend all of this is mud.
It's not like caked or anything. It's like a very well kept. It's just slick from the rainwater that you can see.
She just doesn't want to think about it, okay? It's a sewer. No matter how clean it is, it's a sewer.
You're complaining as a lady, and I'm of noble birth. Why would you think I enjoy being in sewers any more than you do? Okay, so is there anything curious about these sewers, or is it just normal?
It's very shitty.
It is very shitty. So we're
I kind
gonna.
of figured.
So, as you travel down the sewers, you take a few minutes catching yourself, almost slipping. Again, this is like a somewhat of a descent. You said you guys are going down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it kind of curves around somewhat to contoured kind of like to the shape of like a hill, like this is on a hill. But obviously you guys are like underneath. But anyway, so you follow that shape downwards, a slight radius, a slight curve, and you can see now at this point maybe 100 feet in front of you. There's like you're illuminated, and then there's like pitch blackness, and then you can see kind of like 100 feet away from you a couple of torches that are lit like on a wall, like wall sconce, and you can just see like a large iron gate.
Wait, lit torches.
Someone's been here very recently.
Do we see anyone, or is it just the gate and torches?
You just see a closed gate and a couple of torches on the wall.
Once they get close enough to the torches, Martha sort of signals for Eldrin to snuff out the light
Yeah, I was thinking
or
about
the
that.
on their staff.
I just snap my fingers, light goes out.
Okay, and then she's going to inspect this iron gate.
I just mutter under my
Okay.
breath.
So, go ahead, inspect it.
I just realized I don't have knock. God damn it.
Make an inspection or investigation or whatever.
16.
Yeah, I'll let you go too. You guys can both roll this time. Yeah, so nothing really stands out to you, Eldrin. You see that this is just like a very well kept. It's like a black iron gate. You can see it clear as day. It is definitely locked. It has like 3 lock mechanism on it, and it just has this like a symbol, like an inset, what looks to be like an inset skull above the locking mechanism. Like it's, I don't know, maybe like a 1-inch sphere almost, but it has like the face of a skull, and it's like, again, inset. It's concave with this shape, almost as if maybe something fits in it.
I just say, that doesn't look good. Can I use my Eldritch Sight, which is essentially cast detect magic at will without expending a spell slot?
Okay, so you detect magic.
Yeah.
You don't detect anything magical about this door.
Well, at least it's not booby trapped. Okay. so it's a skull-like mark on there that looks like something can be fitted into it. Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, and then below that, where the inset region is, looks like there's almost like room for 3 keys, and like what looks to be some sort of complex like gear locking mechanism that like revolves around those 3 keys.
Okay, so I just look at my friend and go, "You don't happen to have Conrad's keychain, do you?" Assuming this is where Conrad went.
Would she? I mean, if she was going out finding him.
I'm not sure if he would leave a
No,
key.
I don't believe you do. And we're gonna go ahead at that point. Now we're gonna pan back over to Leah. So you slide into cover. A bolt kind of whizzes past you in the dark. Again, it's very hard to see. Anrod sticks out like a sore thumb. The torch in the blackness. And at this point, we're actually gonna go ahead and you are on the map here, right? You can see.
Give me a second. Let me see. Yep, I see it.
Okay. Now roll initiative. Nat 1. Okay, so you go.
Of course I go.
So you've run up at this point, and they're about probably 70 feet in front of you now at this point, after you've run up and slid into cover.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, this is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was just a track.
Whenever I fucking see this, I'm like instantly, okay, let's check everything. the tactician in me starts kind of clearing up. Okay. All right. I am going to take another short bow shot at the guy I shot earlier.
Okay.
Um,
You're kind of like hiding behind cover at this point.
Yeah. So here, just like like if you ever seen like, yeah, just military style, like fucking hide, pop out, take the shot back into cover, that sort of thing, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's you are human. Everybody has disadvantage at this point. Actually, the thugs do not have
Oh,
disadvantage.
disadvantage.
They have disadvantage
Alright, I'll
against
just...
Anrod because of the distance, but not because of sight. Like I said, Anrod
Yeah.
sticks out in the blackness, but everybody else is
Okay, so
just
7,
can't,
yeah.
just can't really see. Yeah, so
I'm just I'm just gonna. I knew I was gonna fail it right because it's advantage, but I wanted to see if I could actually make it even shittier. Like if one of those was a nat 1 or something. In all fairness.
yeah. So this thug goes ahead. He runs up. I don't even know, to be honest, if he knows where you are. Yeah, he doesn't appear to know where you are, so he runs up his 30. So now this is about accurate. The two thugs are going at the same time, so this is now roughly distant. Roughly accurate. Boom. They run up shoulder to shoulder, and then I would move Leah somewhere. I assume you took kind of like cover, like somewhat to the side or something. You can put yourself,
Yeah.
whatever, 30 feet.
Let me see.
30 feet
Yeah,
from
let me
your
see.
location now.
Fuck.
Okay, neither one of them notice you. Actually, go ahead and make a stealth roll.
Just check to make sure that was. Yep, that is position 1. Right, stealth. There we go.
Yeah, no problem.
Right, no disadvantage. Yeah, fuck.
No, this is mostly just to see if like you got like a nat 1 and it was like, she's totally right there. So, as far as they know, and they're not within range, so they do not have disadvantage on these two attacks. Okay, so the second one does not hit as they both loose. Anrod unfortunately takes the first one. You can see he drops to one knee and kind of like just coughs out like a big gout of blood. It is Anrod's go, and he is going to, yeah, let's do this. Okay, good enough. So he throws his torch. Maybe here if I can get, there we go. Okay, can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, so he throws his torch right there, enough to illuminate them, and he is now no longer illuminated. You can just barely see as his silhouette kind of like runs off into the darkness to find some sort of other cover.
Right.
And he is definitely not looking good. From what you can see in that brief second, he takes a shot right to the torso, and the bolt sinks in a couple of inches.
Right. Leah's gonna take another shot at the same guy. Like honestly, at this point you can just sort of imagine like whack-a-mole, like pop shoot, pop shoot. Oh, and
Okay.
max damage rolls off. Fuck yeah.
So at this point, they have the same amount of health. So I'm just gonna say it's this one that's slightly closer to you. Okay. Are you staying put, or are you moving somewhere different?
Yeah, Leah's gonna scoot over to if she can find like another piece of. Okay, do you want me to make a perception check to see if I see another piece of cover sort of nearby? In general, like in this area here. If it'll let me. Oh, right, because the clicks portrait is in the way. Clicks portrait. There we go. That way.
Torch, I believe is 30 feet. Anything outside of 30 feet, you can't really tell without like just like feeling around.
All right, then Ollie is just gonna kind of take a shot
So-
in the dark and move around and sort of try to move around here.
Yeah, so
like-
you are like just on the very outer blip. So you take a shot and then move out. So go ahead and make a
Yeah.
stealth. Yeah, they begin looking around. They have no idea. They both reload their crossbows and one of them's actually going to pick up the torch as they begin running off after where they believe Anrod to be. And as that happens, Anrod is going to go ahead and he's just going to make a mad dash as he becomes like right barely within like the radius of this this light. Like you can just barely see a silhouette. He just takes off.
Right, which one's the guy I shot earlier?
The one who
This
has
guy
the
or-
torch.
Torch. Oh, nice. Alright. Leah's gonna move a little further down. Fuck's sake. Nick's portrait. Fucking getting over where I need to move. Right. And she's gonna take a shot at that guy again. This guy's not gonna have a good time with Leah. Definitely not.
Alright. Oh, hold on here. You should have advantage on those shots because he cannot see you. That also means you get sneak attack, so roll 2 rounds worth of sneak attack damage. I thought I was missing something. I'm like, oh, what?
Let me see real quick. Alright, I do have it on. I have it. Yeah, I have it on straight sneak attack, so that's 3 takes. So I'm just gonna roll 6d6 then.
You got it. Well, I was gonna say if you roll, yeah, that's enough to finish him off anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So
And
at this-
then let's say I believe I moved 2 squares. That there's 10 feet, so I have another 20 feet of movement. Leah is going to move there. Okay, gonna kind of make sure. Yeah, there we go. All right.
Okay, this thug is kind of like he sees his friend get dropped, like, and just like as he plops to the ground, the torch kind of rolls out of his hand, and the thug just kind of like looks around. He's like, "Where are you? Where are you?" And then he looks around nervously and then just runs off.
Yeah, and he won't be able to see me either. I've been making sure I keep my distance from this torch.
Yeah, and he runs off. He does not pick up the torch with him. Anrod kind of like noticing somewhat what's going on, but you know, really hurt. He's just gonna keep running. You're not entirely sure. You can't see him from here, but so it's your go. The other person who runs off, you can see that their silhouette briefly, and then just into the dark.
All right. Real quick check. Leah's gonna take one last pop shot, sort of like out of, you know, like if I get a nat 20 or something like that, like at his back of his neck, you know, like I don't know, I doubt I'm gonna hit him, but or doubt I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill him. But it's kind of like he's running off. Let's take one last shot. Hopefully I kill him, and don't have to deal with him in the future. If it doesn't, I'm gonna move on. Sort of that sort of feel. And yeah, it'll be
Definitely,
disadvantage. Yeah.
Okay. That's still enough to hit. You go ahead and roll your sneak damage as you're like you can hear the heavy footfalls and you just kind of like track
I
over.
need advantage or an ally within.
You're right. Yeah, you don't have advantage because okay. Yep. You're
Yeah,
right.
it's not if they don't see me. It's like I need to have advantage for it to hit.
Okay.
Right, and now she's gonna start heading off to where she last remembered. Fuck, I always the fucking count of the arrow in his calf, dock or whatever.
You go and head off towards the dock or whatever.
No, him, the guy with the arrow in his cat. Like there's like Dalton. No, Dalton is the guy. Fuck. I said I'm horrible with names. You know what I mean.
Then so is Leah. All right. So, yeah, as you do that, you circle back. Anrod figures out what's going on, and he comes with you. And you guys meet up with Doc or whatever his name is.
Cunt.
You see, he's just kind of like sitting there, trying to essentially give himself a tourniquet right now. He's found like an old piece of pipe, and he's used what you've given him, and it's just like, makeshift, doing what he can.
Alright. So, yeah, I'm gonna brief him on what's happened. On what happened there with the princess and everything. Right.
Fuck. So you lost her.
So, I have a plan in mind. She seemed trusting enough, anyway. If all goes well, she'll end up going to the Silver Dwarf at some point. If it doesn't, at least she thinks you were Tuxman. So any aggression will be led towards him. You two head back to Dalton. I don't exactly feel like revealing myself to him either. I've already put enough faith in you two to not talk about what you've seen tonight.
Well, sounds pretty good to me. You can see as Anrod just kind of like, and just like a bunch of blood comes out, and he's bleeding pretty bad out of the last bolt wound that he took. Yeah, I think it's about time we lick our wounds. Come on, Dolok. And he just kind of like cradles Dolok as he like picks him up gently. Watch the leg. And as you go off, you see them returning to where you assume is the direction of Dalton's place.
I'll go. Right. Leah, if I'm correct, did she? I think she had she had some injuries still in the obviously.
Yes.
Or did Nick's healing touch just completely seal that shit up?
No, it did not. And I believe I've told you guys, but healing in my setting it leaves behind scar tissue. It accelerates your natural healing abilities, like to the point where it like leaves scar tissue behind.
So she's got a big sort of arrow scar in the back of her back. In her back. Awesome.
That she does. As well as a nice little hole in her shirt.
Alright, Leah's going to look for a doctor of sorts, just a healer in the city, and head towards that.
Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna straight up say like that would be probably nigh impossible right now. Just given the fact that it's dead of night, it's raining, nobody's out, you don't know the city very well. you don't have like a whole lot of contacts here. It'd be very difficult for you to find one before morning.
Okay.
I say very difficult, but like everybody's asleep. It's pretty much impractical to say that you would just find a healer.
Right. Well, she would still look for a little while and then sort of realize that, and then she's not gonna head back to the Silver Dwarf. She kind of. Actually, no. What she's gonna do is she's gonna sneak into the Silver Dwarf and sort of pick up any of her belongings and things she has in her room, and try and look for just an outing, like somewhere for her to rest for the night, not a tavern thing. She kind of wants to avoid the Silver Door for now, for her little plan to work, but she doesn't want to go to Dalton yet either because, identity.
Okay. 10
So she's basically going hobo style for this night. Well, actually, not really. She is used to surviving in the wild, and for a while when she was robbing roads, she sort of did this. So she can probably find some kind of area that's good enough to sleep in, or if that doesn't work, she can look around, maybe around Handel, maybe like. Actually, no, there's no forest and shit around Handel. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, it's a little.
She's pretty
bit
good
of
at setting up camp.
It's not so much as setting up camp as this is like urban. You know what I mean? It's not the wilderness.
Yeah, it's just.
So, but you do.
It's just finding an area.
I mean, there's certainly there's some trash cans, things like that nature, or you find eventually kind of like a corner section between a couple of houses where it masks the rain, so it's not falling on you. Yeah, pretty much. What Latoda said. Less camp and more cardboard box with something blocking the rain. That's pretty much what you get.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where you spend the night. You notice there, strangely enough, it doesn't appear to be like you don't see Martha, you don't see Eldrin. All's fairly quiet in the inn right now. So that's where we'll go ahead and pan back to Martha and Eldrin. So you guys are fiddling with this door and inspecting it.
Pretty much, and probably trying to find a key. Or should I say keys?
Okay. It's kind of a dead end right here. There's this black iron gate. You don't hear any sort of movement behind it or anything like that. Just has this inset skull. Has the 3 keyholes. Obviously the 2 torches are on the wall. And there's kind of like a runoff drain into what appears to be maybe like a lower level of the sewer. That's very small. It's enough for maybe some rats to get through or something. It's not very big.
I just look to Martha and say, should we head back to the inn for now and come back in the morning? I don't think we can do much else here, unless we know where else to go.
Sorry, I'm back.
So I was saying, should we just...
I have an idea.
Or...
Martha's going to pull out her lute and play a tune because she's doing enthralling performance. And God, I hope it works.
And what are you trying to do with that?
If there is anyone other than Eldrin in 60 feet, they're going to have to make a wisdom saving throw against the spell. If they fail it, they will be charmed, and then they will come over and see me as a wonderful performer and let us in.
So you're hoping that there is someone behind the gate.
Interesting.
It's the only chance we've got.
Hang on, cat.
I'm gonna go ahead and have them make. I'll roll it in front of you. I'll have them make it at advantage because some of that is that they can see you, right? It's like the whole performance. They're behind a gate. It dulls the sound, but I'll still do it. But
Do
just
I have to do the saving throw as well?
no, you're immune to any charm effects. You're not.
Actually, it
No,
says you
I only
can
have the
attempt to
one.
inspire wonder in your audience by singing, reciting a poem, or dancing. It says
I only
nowhere
have
in
a
it that
one.
you actually have to be watched and listened. Do it. Uh,
I mean,
Yeah,
I have
it says
advantage
within
at saving
within
throws.
60 feet of you who watched and listened to all of it.
shit. Please.
It's
Please.
it's also performance. You're performing from behind a locked door. You have no idea if there's anybody around, but so go ahead. What do you perform?
She is just going to perform a nice little old ditty from her hometown. Probably something like Celtic sounding.
Okay, all right,
Celtic. I don't know how to
Celtic.
pronounce it.
So you got like a Celtic Gaelic vibe going on, and you're jamming out, doing like some. You said flute, right?
Lute.
Lute. Okay, so you're doing something on the lute. Okay.
Come on.
I'm fine. I'm just like, nice beats.
The first one is weak. We'll see. What's the spell DC?
Let me see. It is my spelled save DC, which is 14.
Okay. So as you're playing this, it echoes throughout this underground cavernous region at the end of this sewage pipe, whatever you call it, sewage tunnel. I'm just reading the logistics of the spell one more time.
I can just imagine.
Come on.
I can just imagine that Martha's singing something and then it just turns into one like Putin in Russian, and you just like start singing that in the sewers. Oh, good grief! Wait, you said it was black iron, right?
Yeah. So from beyond the door, you hear it's kind of dulled. Hi. That was pretty good. Who are you?
My name is Martha. I'm just looking for a friend.
A friend, you say? Well, I've never heard of Martha before.
I'm looking for Conrad. He owns the Silver Dwarf. He means a lot to me, and I'm just worried, and I want to know where he's gone. It's very dark and scary outside, so.
Oi, you're looking for shade, eh? Yeah, I can grab him for you. Hold tight. Just saw him pass this way. A few minutes ago. And you hear like footfall, like tuk, 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 tuk. Again, kind of
I'm guessing
muffled
my
from
stealth
beyond
check
the
is
door.
not very successful.
Martha's going to start preparing her I'm very disappointed in you face. What would that be, like performance?
So, Eldrin, what are you attempting to stealth behind?
I don't know,
Just hide behind
I'm
Martha's
suspicious of
back
this
walls.
gate in general. I'm just suspicious of what's beyond this gate because it looks
You're like
very.
You're like the dude that like hides behind the door, but there's like, you know what I mean? But there's like absolutely no shadow right here. It's like the door at the end of the hallway with two lit torch, like on sconces. But if you're welcome to like hide like where the door would open, like with your back to it. But I mean, there's just not a lot to hide behind right here.
Oh, quit being an edgelord and just stand there, would you?
Fine, but if we get into a shit fight, I'm blaming you. in the
Just keep
afternoon.
your weapons on your back and don't touch them, and I'm sure we'll be fine. I just want to have a nice conversation with my darling because I am very confused and a bit angry right now.
So
Well,
as you're having this conversation, no, continue. What were you gonna say?
well, if this doesn't go according to plan, which it won't, I'll be ready.
Conrad wouldn't hurt us.
Oi,
Certainly not me.
oi. He says he's a bit indisposed.
I
Take a
beg your
message.
pardon. Oh, take a message. Okay, here's a message. You better explain what you're doing in the sewer in the middle of the night, or I am going to take your balls, rip them off, and shove them down your throat.
Well,
Would that be intimidation?
go ahead and make an intimidation check. You can hear from behind the door. He's like, well, uh, uh, right. And you can just hear he like
And
walks
tell
back.
him I want to talk to him now. Right now. I know what he said, but just really bring that point to a head, you know? Right now, please.
Aye, yeah. Yes'm. Yep. And he's just like kind of awkwardly like there's like a pause, and then you hear the footfall like. Tuk, 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 tuk.
That could have gone better.
A few minutes later, you hear, why didn't you send her away? I don't know. And he's just like some mumbling around and and then you hear like a couple of figures approach the door and then stop for a second and oi, I got him. I got him for you, Miss Martha, right? He's right.
Yes,
I got
dear.
him. I got him right here, and I got him. And he just you hear like a kind of like a clapping noise. Well, what's going into you? Never mind. Hey, uh, Martha, what are you doing? Uh, so late down here.
I could be asking you the same thing, darling, because last time I checked, you didn't want me out in the rain.
Well, I didn't want you to get wet now, you know.
You know, I have a very. Mm, you know, this is just sure is something I am so confused about. I mean, why would you be in the sewers? I mean, really.
Well, it's not all bad, I promise. Just had to take care of a little business after tonight.
Business. Okay. I'll tell you what. She sort of takes her hand and sort of rubs her temples. I am tired, I am cold, and I had to chase you into a shithole, quite literally, because I was scared you would get hurt. And you mean too much for me to let you get hurt.
There's a you hear a as the door opens a little bit and he steps out. You can see at this point he's got like a pretty large knife kind of strapped to his leg. He's like in a like an overcoat, and he nods to the guy who's behind the door. You see like just this lanky, like he's got really like long shaggy hair. He's in some black leathers, and he kind of again he just looks kind of like lanky, and he nods at you. Hey, Martha. Hi. And he just like smiles at you.
You're lucky. You're so damn cute. Okay. Conrad, sweetheart, darling. Next time you go and meet your little friends in the middle of the goddamn night, could you please at least give me a warning?
Well, I didn't want you to get word now. I didn't think you were going to fool
Not
me.
get word. Okay, let's not get worried. Well, there was an explosion, and I was worried half my friends are dead, and then I saw the love of my life just run out the door. Did I say that? Never mind. Ignore that last part. The point is, don't scare me like that, please.
He takes like his hood, he flips it down a little bit. It's still like soaked at this point, it's dripping. He waves. It kind of like sits there for a second with his head down and then tilts it up and looks to you. Promise I won't get hurt. I told you not to worry about me, but, well,
That's my
Okay.
job, dear.
I can't say that I blame you. I'm sorry. He comes over and gives you a hug. And then he immediately notices the elf behind the door, and he kind of like takes his knife out and like,
No, he's with me. He was emotional comfort for me while I was going down the sewers. Trust me, he isn't going to say anything. And I have a feeling what you're doing down here is illegal. And while I do not support it, I am not going to try and pretend that I can make you stop. I'm not an idiot, dear.
well,
I'm just leaning against the wall at this point, just like, Martha, hurry
Suppose-
up.
suppose that saves a bit of a talk there.
No, I still want to talk. We are definitely having a talk when we get home. But I suppose I somewhat expected it, given the town and what job you have. I didn't expect you to go into like a cultist circle down here, though. That's a bit worrying.
Yeah, hang on. Quick question about spacing. How far is Conrad away from me?
Maybe because you were hiding behind the door in the corner, like maybe 7 or 8 feet. As he stepped out to meet Martha.
So he's still within 10 feet, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's good enough.
Eldrin, I swear to God,
What?
don't do anything.
I'm just getting out of character. I'm just getting ready in case he decides to knife you in the hugging maneuver, so I can use lightning lure and get him away from you.
So he looks down shyly for a second, and then he goes in to give you a hug.
Here it comes.
Martha hugs him and picks him up because he is short.
He's also very dense, so he's still kind of like. Ugh.
Strength check.
Yeah, strength check.
Saving throw or just a straight check?
Just a check.
Yeah,
Oh, you pick him a good like foot and a half off the ground, and his little legs go like in the air for a second. Well, I suppose we'll talk later, but I do have a few things I need to take care of here, to be honest with you. But I don't like you being out here alone, or even with your whatever fancy friend over there.
I've seen quite a bit of shit in my day, dear. I can handle myself.
Most of it while she was waiting through the sewer.
Don't push me, Elgin, please. I'm still a bit frazzled. Are you sure you don't want me to come in with you? My my lips are sealed. Eyes
Well,
shut, ears plugged.
I'm sorry I can't do that. You can trust me, but the others, I don't know. And he gives you a very serious look. Do not let anyone else know that you are here. Do you understand? I don't want you to get hurt.
And I don't want you to get hurt. That's why I'm down here.
I keep telling you, you don't need to worry about me.
How can I not? You're too goddamn small.
Well, I'm also swift.
I mean, yeah, but you're still so small, she says as she just sort of smooches his forehead.
He takes a like he reaches up like towards the spine region, takes out like a very thin blade and throws it behind him while like you're still like giving him a peck, and it goes and it lands about 1 inch away from Eldrin's jugular, and just like right in the wall behind, like right next to him.
Eldrin, what did you do?
My only crime is to stand here. And I just look and just pockets the knife. I'm just gonna take the knife and just pocket it. Nice knife, thanks.
Ignore him, dear. He wouldn't hurt a fly. Or at least, not me.
He smiles.
Okay, I'll tell you what. We are having a talk when you get home, okay? A real long talk. But for now,
Aye.
I guess I can let you go.
He nods. Aye. Well, I was kind of hoping you wouldn't find out so soon, but suppose it was inevitable. And then again, he looks at you. Do not let anyone know that you've been down here. It will not be good, I promise.
Oh, I know all about that. Did I ever tell you about my ex-husband? He was quite the...
He kind of tilts his head and looks kind of curiously.
He was a necromancer. I'm used to keeping secrets.
Hmm. Well,
I can trust me. Nothing you do can be any worse than what he did in his spare time. What matters is that you're a good man and you're doing things because they're good. And sometimes people do bad things for good reasons.
that they do. And he leans in and gives you like a little peck. And then begins to walk off.
She's still holding him, so she has to like put him down first.
He tries to wriggle out a little bit. You just kind of like hold him there, and he kind of drops his face and, can you put me down, please?
Yes, yes, yes. Don't be such a grumpy butt. Okay. And as she says that, she smacks his butt a little while she sets him down.
It kind of like
Okay.
it pushes him a few inches along, like whoa, like to get him into like the motion of like walking, if that makes sense. And then he looks back at you with a grin. Hey, I'll be back soon.
Please, please stay safe.
And as he walks in,
Okay.
as all these locking mechanisms go back in place.
Okay, Elgin. Missions completed. Mystery solved. I guess we head back for now.
Charming. And I just walk away.
You're going to help me out of the sewers, right? My fat ass can't really climb ladders that well.
Well, I can certainly try. Just try not to crush me.
Please, I'm like a marshmallow, soft but pretty light. That was a lie.
Such a lie.
All right, so it takes a little bit to get up and out of the sewers, but ultimately you find your way back onto the small winding streets. Um, and unless you're trying to do anything else, you make haste back in the rain. Again, you guys are just cold and miserable.
What role would we have to make sure we don't get a cold?
Constitution, I'm gonna guess.
Well, considering
Yeah, because she's been in this freezing rain almost the entire night at this point.
Yep, go ahead and let's see. Yeah, you, Leah, Eldrin, yeah. You, Leah, and Eldrin all make Constitution saving throws.
Oh, she powered through it.
Let me.
Actually, no, that makes sense. So,
That is disadvantage for me though. So that is 15 actually.
wait, what?
Because I forgot to put it back to normal. I forgot to put that on normal, so that's actually 15.
No, it's a 4.
Oh wait, no, it's 4. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Alright, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay, so it makes sense. So
Wait, why does Eldrin roll twice? What?
One of them is just a Constitution check.
yeah, he passed both times either way. So you guys are freezing, but you guys get to stay in a nice warm inn. You fortunately recover from the effects. You don't get hypothermia or anything. No bullshit like that. It takes you a little bit to warm up, but ultimately you do. Leah, sleeping out in the cold. You've been essentially soaked all night. You do not gain the benefits of a full rest, and you have a point of exhaustion as you wake up in the alley the next day. The rain at this point has stopped, but the streets are muddy, the streets are wet, slick. You're not quite sure what hour of the morning it is, but it's certainly early. And you wake up shivering.
Alright.
Hold on, let me
Leah's
shut
gonna
off
go
the
and
rain
look.
music.
Yeah, Leah's gonna go and look for a healer and all that. Somewhere where she can actually patch up her wounds from last night.
Okay, go ahead and
And
make
take care of take care of any like illnesses or anything that the doctor might notice from spending a night out in the rain. Well, kind of.
So go ahead and make an investigation check. I believe at this point, because you're exhausted, everything has disadvantage at this point. All ability checks are at disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay, so as you stumble around, again, it's difficult. You still have wounds from the night before. You look just dirty and just filthy at this point. You're shivering. Um, most people are avoiding you like the plague. Just probably assume you to be just a normal part of the riffraff. Just another street rat. And as you spend a little while looking for a healer, you're unable. So you spend a few precious hours of the morning looking to no avail. So the rest of you wake up peacefully, nice and warm in your beds. Martha, as you open your eyes, you look over to see Conrad there snoring loudly.
She snuggles him.
He kind of like, and he rolls over and does like a spoon, and then Like he's heavy breathing, but it kind of like, stops the snoring.
Oh, thank God.
All right, so all of you are up. You have the morning to do what you please at this point.
Martha's probably going to talk to Conrad, but I'll let everyone else go first.
So everybody swarms in while he's sleeping.
I'm just like,
Not
after
not
last night's events, I don't really want to go near Conrad because I'm just like, I'm not sure about that guy.
I mean, I know
Actually,
that
I will have a
Vernon.
look at the dagger that he threw at me that I picked up and kept.
It appears to be custom. It just be in like it's very low profile. It has kind of like like you hold it with two fingers. It has kind of like a T shape to it. If that makes
Does
sense.
it?
Like the handle is kind of like a small T shape, and it's a very slim, low profile.
Does it look like it has any um, things that could look like it's magical or in some way?
It doesn't appear. It appears to be very plain and simple. Um, Again, very low profile, very slim.
Okay, I'm just like, normal. Put it back into my pocket or wherever I keep my things.
Okay.
So I imagine that Vernon basically just gets up in the morning and kind of does a regular routine, gets breakfast and stuff like that, and kind of hangs out and is hoping to make contact with some of the people he ran into last night.
At this point, you see there's quite a few people that have gathered, and there's nobody running the place right now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like no breakfast to be had. There's no anything really going on right now. There's people that are just kind of like hanging out, but kind of wondering like, oh, where's Conrad?
Then Vernon's going to hang out with them.
Okay. So you see a couple what looks to be like maybe like blue collar workers, things like that. People that generally get up early. Um, just kind of waiting. You see they're kind of like looking outside, and a couple of them like get up and I don't have time for this and walk out.
Not very many sailors this time of week, though. Departure and stuff like that, and also this time of day.
Um, from what you can see, there doesn't appear to be any sailors right now.
Yeah, I thought so. Probably a lot of the ships departed earlier in the week. Okay. Yeah, he just kind of casually hangs out with them. He doesn't single out any people or anything like that. Just kind of absently hanging out.
Okay. Very good. So, anyone else? Throm, Zlatota, you guys wake up. Is there anything that you guys are doing in particular?
Well, Throm realizing he has a bunch of coin is probably gonna try to go shopping for some things.
I'm gonna get breakfast.
Yeah.
You guys, fortunately, no problem with the breakfast. When you do go to breakfast, however, the young-looking elven woman greets you very nicely, Zlatota, for your breakfast. Stops Throm. Hey, uh, what happened to your door?
What? Oh.
Did you do that?
Uh, Not on purpose.
Well, Mr. Not on purpose. I have to pay for that, you know.
Of course. How much?
5 gold pieces.
I'll reach into my a pack inside my shirt, count out 5 gold pieces, and toss them at her. There you go.
She eases a bit. Thank you. And try not to break anything else, please.
No promises. I'll say with a smile.
So you're gonna go shopping. Do you want to do that afterwards, like either after the session, or are you looking for like something like special?
Yep.
I'll leave it up to you whether you want to like go out and do shopping or if you want to just like talk it out later.
I am looking for something specific, but I can do it after session. We'll just say I did it now.
Okay, let me see what everybody else wants to do, and if not, we'll circle back.
Yep.
Alright, guys. So, what's everybody else doing? So, Leah, yeah, you have a few hours that you've killed, kind of looking around for a healer. People are just kind of coming out of the woodwork now.
Right, Leah's gonna do this real quick. She's going to look for a contact and basically leave a message for him. And just for, for roleplay and all that for the future. The name for my contact is going to be Pula. P-U-L-A.
Okay. And
Pula Quem.
And where's Pula stationed?
He's going to be by the docks. Yeah, by the docks. Sort of closer towards the two separate ones. So the one that was closer to the docks that are closer to Tuck's area than
So
Dalton's.
He resides in Hundel.
Uh,
Because how it is kind of
yeah,
like you have like from your back. Yeah, from your background, it's kind of like you have a contact who has connections to the underworld that like you can or whatever that you can get in contact with, but you could be stationed
Yeah, and
like
it
halfway around the world, or like you have to get in contact.
but it makes sense that he's here because this is sort of a trading center of the area, so he can. This is the best way for him to get information to and from here.
Okay, 10-4.
Because, so yeah, and she's going to meet up with Pula, and she's going to tell him to deliver a message to Dalton from Lobo. She's going to tell them, don't worry so much about the princess right now. Try to keep an eye around. If anything, keep an eye out around the Silver Dwarf. She might be visiting that soon. If you see her, first make sure not to send Anrod or Doc over. She will recognize them. Send someone else, and if you want, you can mention Leah. You can try mentioning the name Leah. That might let you get into the circle. Specifically, ask for someone called Eldrin. He's the he's the sort of figurehead of the party.
So Pula looks at you, just kind of like tilts his head a little bit. Well, you've been certainly busy lately, haven't you? As you tell him this message. I would watch out. There's been a lot of intricate happenings here lately.
Intricate, you say?
Why, of course, Leah. Or should I say Lobo? And he kind of like puts his hand on his chin and gives you a grin.
I'm assuming your silence isn't exactly going to be cheap.
Ah. You catch on quick after all these years.
Well, you know how the saying goes. Birds of a feather flock together. I wouldn't exactly stay quiet for free either.
So, what is it you need to know?
First off, if you can get more information on the princess and her current whereabouts. The princess from Frost. Seriously, fuck you. Actually, I'll give more of a description. She has blonde hair. Her skin is very pale. It's a very pale skin. She is stronger than she looks. I forget the exact name of where she was from, though it did definitely begin with an F. Frost something, I believe it was.
First of all,
Thank you, old friend.
don't worry about it. I'll see what I can do.
And that message to Dalton would be very appreciated. I'm not exactly in the best of shapes to go deliver it to myself right now, as you can probably tell.
I'll take care of it. I'd be careful though. The syndicate's been looking for a princess from Fristal. Not sure what they want with her, but well, suppose we'll find out.
Yes, we will, old friend. Leah sort of nods to him, puts her hood on, and starts walking off.
And calls you back, holds out his hand with a very big smile.
Yeah, not so lucky this time, am I? How many gold? So how many pieces would that be?
He hands up a 3, like just like holds up 3 fingers. For you today, discount. Mostly because I'm just interested to see what's going to happen.
Leah's going to give him 3 silver pieces, and put one last one on top for your services over the years.
He smirks at you. You're a little late, friend.
Better late than never. Alright. And now Leah continues to walk off.
He scoops the silver pieces into his bag and kind of laughs. Watch yourself, Lobo.
You too.
Alright, so anybody else looking to do stuff besides Throm?
I was going to say after breakfast, I'm probably going to head over to the, was it Golden? I wrote it down so I actually know it.
The Silver Dwarf.
Yeah, Silver Dwarf. There's that other golden one, but that's not the one I want to go to. But yeah, head over to the Silver Dwarf.
Okay, you head over. At this point, you see some kind of annoyed looking patrons sitting there. Nobody's behind the bar.
And then he might see Vernon depending on the time frame.
Yeah, and then you see a fabulous Fernand that you met yesterday. So you
Yeah,
recognize
because
him.
he's the one who told me. Yeah, he's the one who told me about the Silver Dwarf.
So he's probably not paying attention, so.
So yeah, I'm just gonna go over to Vernon. So, what's this place out of business or something?
I'm not entirely sure, although the tavern keeper did follow us around a little bit last night, so I imagine he's been tired.
So that was the owner, the one that was with Martha.
Yes, the dwarf. I think his name is Conrad.
Hmm.
Right, I'm fucking taking notes now on fucking names to make sure Dylan doesn't get to pull that bullshit on me from now on.
I'm not pulling bullshit, man. You gotta pay attention.
No, I'm no. No, I do pay attention. It's just I'm horrible with names, like in particular.
Oh, it's a miracle I remember the name Conrad.
I mean, after 2 weeks, I'd hope you would.
Oh shit, what's your name?
By the way,
Oh, Craig. Wait, no, that's not right.
I did go through the trouble of making everyone a journal if you wish to keep track of something in Roll20.
Yeah, it's before I was using it more for plans and back,
Yeah.
like, you know, for my sort of train of thoughts rather than names. Now I'm using both, so yeah.
I have a
Also, under the world of Zefterra, there's like NPCs. I put like blank handouts and stuff in there, so like I'll give you guys access to all that. So if you guys just want to make like, you guys could make an entry for an NPC and just write whatever you wanted to if you wanted to. Or you can
I'll
use your
probably make an
journal, or
entry
you
for
can
Pull
do.
Quem later.
interesting, but yeah, I have a ridiculously good memory for no good reason. So
I remember unimportant things, but
it depends for me. It could be very important things or unimportant things. I just remember anything that interests me slightly.
Honestly, I feel like I as a person would be an interesting character with my train of thought, just because of the, you know, great at making plans, horrible at remembering names and shit.
my
Like
plan
all
requires
these cutting.
my plan requires 4 specific people, but I don't remember their names and I can't remember their faces.
No, I know their faces. I fucking can't remember their fucking names. Like that's literally like fucking faces, details, personalities, thought styles, weapons, class, like all that, no problem. But fucking I'm just like a name. Fuck.
Well, anyway, so we're not probably just kind of eyes Latota and is like, well, I've been waiting on breakfast, but if he's not getting up anytime soon, I might as well fetch him someplace else. Want to take a walk?
Well, I know one place with breakfast. I'm gonna make sure I say this slightly louder, because I want to make sure people hear, especially to make up for that door that I ended up getting Throm to break. The Barking Soul, not too far from here, has breakfast ready, and being replaced when everything's ready to go.
Why? A guy like yells out, "What are they serving?"
I didn't actually ask what they were serving. I just grabbed breakfast.
But you ate it, didn't you?
Yeah, I ate it. After the explosion last night, keeping me up. I didn't really bother looking at what I was eating, just ate. I mean, come on, does it really matter? It's breakfast.
Well, anyway, that sounds brilliant. Let's be on our way then.
Like half of the crowd just like moves out and follows you guys. Oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah. They kind of follow you.
Our breakfast army.
Yeah, your breakfast armada.
Conrad's busy.
The breakfast brigade. All right, so you and the breakfast
We go to
brigade.
the Barking Soul.
Yep, you guys go on and enjoy a very heavenly breakfast. Eggs, sausage, toast, all the fixins. Very delish.
Yeah.
Very much appreciated from the owner. Okay,
So I would have to pay for that because I don't have a room here.
Yep. So for a breakfast for the whole shebang, it's gonna be 3 silver pieces just for breakfast.
Fine.
That's like has like the whole full course, stuff your face as much as you want.
Oh, By the way, just for the like for characters and all that, Pula, he is a half elf. Just so you're aware.
Interesting.
Just for future.
Okay. 10-4.
But yeah, and I guess Vernon, during breakfast, tells Latota a little bit about himself. He introduces himself, because I don't know... Yeah, actually, he's already introduced himself, but he introduces himself again, because his memory's poor. And he just kind of goes into his background a little bit, telling him that he's a noble, and he just recently came to Russia.
All right.
Okay.
So, I was just gonna say so because we don't have a whole lot of time left here.
I'll roleplay it. I don't know.
So
Yeah, we don't. I was gonna say we don't have to, as long as it's like, yeah,
we'll
this
see what happens.
just
yeah, no. So
over.
if we have time, we can come back to it. I'm just saying, so we kind of
Yeah.
pan out, and you guys are kind of like talking over breakfast, and we zoom into like the
Mhm.
market square. At this point, it's everybody's kind of like in full swing. Throm, you notice that there is definitely a heavier guard presence this morning. Presumably from what happened last night. They kind of appear to be like looking around for someone or something. But as you proceed into the market square, again, like it is, people are setting up. It is pretty much in full swing at this point. So what are you looking for?
Looking for some magic items. A magic item specifically.
Okay.
If this town is big enough to sell magic items, I don't even know actually.
Okay.
Uh,
So you're looking for a magic item in particular. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a belt that'll make me stronger.
A belt that will make you stronger. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you can go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh shit, I died.
Did you say, oh shit, you died?
Yeah. Not in this. It's a 17.
Okay. So, you're looking around and you do see there's like one minor, like, what appears to have like magical reagents and things like that. Like you see a couple of sigils and whatnot
Mhm.
on the door. It seems like a quaint kind of like a back alley kind of shop. But you don't see anything that besides that, like you don't see like a big stand where it's like magic items, come and get your magic or anything like that. Like that, the only thing that you find that has even a hint is that shop.
All right, that's fine. That's where I'll go.
Okay. So as you go in, there's like a little chime that goes off. Hello, how may I help you? And you see like just like this very fancy looking gentleman. He is like elven and he just has like this long kind of like silvery hair.
Hello. I'm looking for an item to make me physically stronger.
To make you stronger, you say?
Yes.
You do look fairly strong, if I do say so myself.
Oh, I am.
You are. And he kind of like agrees and nods. Well, most of what we have here is magical reagents, and he kind of like sweeps his hand. And you see like various like little like diamonds and things like that, and he has like all these little cubbies that have like what appear to be like random like sprigs of this and that, and like mushrooms and like like talons and like just random parts. Like they don't seem to have any sort of rhyme or reason.
Mhm.
We do sell potions. We are licensed, but unfortunately, friend, that's the most that we could probably do if you're looking to be stronger.
How long do they last?
Um, effects last for approximately. Let me look it up. I believe it's an hour, but let me check. For some reason, the compendium's not loading, so hold on. There we go.
Do.
Really? It tells you what it is. It's, okay, yeah, okay, yes. Yeah, it lasts for about 1 hour. I do have one.
Hmm. Eh, never mind. That's okay. Thank you for your time.
Suit yourself. Have a nice day.
Mhm. You as well. Now, head else.
Okay. Is there anything else that you're looking for besides that? Like I've said,
Nope.
like I've said before, magic is like very rare. Like I do more like masterwork items than I do magic.
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
Shit. There we go.
All right. So, I suppose.
I head back to the tavern I was at.
Okay. You head back. By the time you get back, you can see Conrad's running around kind of like with a chicken with his head cut off. He's just like in a rush trying to open up everything, and he's just apologizing profusely and trying to get everything ready.
I have no idea who Conrad is.
Oh, you were at the you're at the other one. Yeah, so you see the place is like swamped and like everybody's just having breakfast. Like again, the barkeep just can barely keep up.
Of course, it's swamped. I was there.
That's right.
Could you say Martha's in the kitchen helping, or?
Yeah, you're in the kitchen. You're helping over at the Silver Dwarf,
yeah.
but that's not where Throm walked in. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Me and Thrum are at the Barking Soul.
Yeah.
So considering this context, I'm imagining that like literally like 2 steps outside the door as soon as we left, Conrad came out and is like, "Where'd everybody go?"
No, he's too preoccupied right now.
Yeah, the moment he wakes up, Martha's going to be having a conversation with him.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, sure. That's what they're doing.
All right. So, I suppose I'll leave it up. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to spread the airtime here between people. So, Throm, was there anything else that you wanted to do? So you approach as there's again, it's like kind of swamped in here. Everybody's sitting down eating breakfast.
Was Latocha still?
Zatoda is
If
there.
he's still in the place.
Yeah, I'm there with the guy you stepped over.
The guy who you almost let die.
I'll grab a plate of food and make my way to his table, and I'll say to the guy, "Oh, well, looks like you lived, yes?"
Yes. A little worse for wear, but
Yeah. It'll be okay. And I'll give him a slap on the arm.
I don't know if I know your name.
I would hope you do not.
Interesting.
He means he hasn't given it to you.
Yeah.
you knew my name, that means you were after me, and I mean I had to kill you. So, but throw him.
Okay, burn it. I shake his hand if he gave the gesture. If not, then I just look weird.
It definitely does not. I'll give you a nod and just start eating this food.
All right. Well, that introduction has been made.
Hmm.
I need to keep remembering who I've actually met and who I have not. Because I'm coming into this party in a very rude fashion.
You've met the lizards. You kind of just went, oh, hey, y'all are going on an adventure? Let me go on an adventure.
And then I got beaten half to death.
So backtracking just a little bit. Ragnar runs out with the party kind of in the pouring rain, gets kind of left behind.
Yeah. Okay.
Loses his way and eventually kind of has to circle back and comes back to the inn. Worries a little bit about his kind of like newfound companions, and he wakes up next morning fine, no issues. But
Okay.
he is met by a page. Are you Mr. Ragnar? Ragnar, is it? And you can see he's
Yes.
holding up like a piece of paper that has like just a brief description.
Yeah, that's me.
Björson, right?
Your
Right?
son.
Björson. Here you are, and he gives you a letter that has the imperial symbol of Volstan's like crystal court.
Oh. Okay. Thank you for this. Carry on.
He kind of like stands there awkwardly for a few minutes, smiling, holding his hand out.
Oh. And then I give him a silver piece.
He takes it and he's like, "Thank you," and he goes off.
I need to find Ragnar and subtract one silver piece. Okay, hold on.
It's
That's
fine.
fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Anyway.
Okay, so
Yeah, and I read the parchment.
so it's written to you by your old commanding officer, who he starts off like, "Hello, dear friend," and essentially lays out the terms of like he realizes what you were trying to do, going on an adventure, and moving on with a different chapter in your life. But he also sees the need for men like you, men that have the experience and that have the ability. And with growing tensions to the north, that they essentially need all the help that they can get, all the strong bodies they can. He just reconfirms that he has heard about how you met up with Menas, of course, because you originally sent the letter to Volstand to get the reinforcements. So he extends to you the offer to take up Utsad under your command, and to stick with it until it's up on its feet again, but also as kind of like a waypoint, as it's a very crucial point between Handel and Volstand. So essentially, to have you stationed there, if you would, and that he gives you like a decent, handsome salary in order to do it. Understanding that you would be coming out of your very short retirement, because you've only been gone for like a few weeks, you know.
Yeah.
And he ends it by, "I realize this may not be what you wanted, Ragnar, old friend, but well, it seemed fitting for somebody looking for retirement, and it's the best that I can do for you.
Okay. So Ragnar kind of excitedly, honestly, because these people don't know what he's been through. You know, goes, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm assuming we could say that by the time he comes downstairs, Martha and Conrad are awake and functioning in the tavern, just so
Yeah,
that he has somebody to tell.
they have a late morning, and by the time you get this letter, they're not up. But you could either wait and tell them, or you could pack and leave. It's your choice.
Yeah, Ragnar waits.
Okay. So you wait around, and eventually you see Martha stroll out with the Conrad gentleman that you've seen.
Martha,
Oh, hey, dear.
I've received some word from my compatriots that I have the ability to take back my position if I so please, and I could become one of the commanding bodies in the reinforcement of Utsad. And as much as I have enjoyed some adventure and enjoyed being unemployed, oddly enough, it's actually a promising offer, and I think I'm going to take it up.
Oh, you're going back to Assad. That's wonderful. You did
So-
really good work there.
I bid you adieu, and I wish that you extend this to the rest of the party. But I'm going to be on my way.
Alrighty. Well, have a safe travel, dear. I wish you the best.
Thank you, and you too. And Ragnar, basically, assuming he has all the stuff packed up, leaves, and he finds basically like that Raven outpost again, or a Raven outpost within Handel, and he tries to send word ahead of him to Volstand or to Utsad that he's accepted, probably Volstand.
Yeah, that's
And
where
he
the
gets
letter
on.
came from, is Falstad.
Yeah, and he gets on his way.
Okay. Make sure you don't give all your gold to Vernant
I don't.
or anything. So, okay, very good. So you go back, and is there anything anybody else was looking to do?
Just Martha's stuff, unless
Oh yeah. No, okay, that's good.
I was waiting my turn.
No, are we cool? Are we cool with? We'll end with that. No, we'll do Martha's conversation, and that will be like the last thing, and we'll pan out.
It's fine with me. How's everyone else?
I'm fine with it.
Okay. All right. Very good. Okay, so backtracking just a little
Should
bit
we-
before that, it's like
Yeah.
there's the and he goes over and he spoons you, and there's kind of like a 10-minute snuggle or so, and then finally oh, hello.
You okay there, dear?
Yeah. Yep. And he kind of like looks around groggily and like
Good morning.
morning.
I hate to
Ooh.
cut right to the chase, but we have some things to talk about, don't we?
Late night, huh?
Yes, very late night. Conrad, you really scared me.
Well, I didn't mean to.
How did you think I'd react if you just vanished? Especially on a night like that.
Well, I suppose I was hoping you would notice. And he gives a smile.
I have eyes, dear. And how could I not notice that you're gone? I spend like 90% of my time here with you.
Well, you were going off to the kitchen to do whatever, and I thought I had a By that window.
I guess I don't know. She sort of sighs and sort of sits up in bed, rubbing her eyes. I, I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have scared the poor fellow at the door to get you to come talk to me.
No, you didn't scare him at all. I mean, he talked about you for like an hour, non-stop. It was kind of weird.
That's the power of bardic magic, dear.
Uh, you do magic.
Oh, did you not know that? Yes. She grabs the loot from her side of the bed and she's going to do just a quick little do.
All right, he kind of like looks amazed and, well, I suppose I thought you were magical before, but now you're the real deal.
Oh, stop it, you. It's something I picked up from my parents. It's the ultimate way of performance. You sort of weave the notes into magic in a strange way. It's difficult to explain, but I
Yeah.
enjoy it. It helps a lot of people.
I don't understand much of magic myself, but I'll take your word
I
for it.
do magic and I still barely understand it myself.
He nods. He kind of like in respect.
Conrad, the last thing I want to do was seem overbearing, but please don't run off like that.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think it's going to be the last time.
I'm not going to make you stop, but at least tell me if you're going somewhere.
Of course I am. Of course I'm going somewhere. Down in the sewers, behind a black locked gate. But, anyway. I can't tell you too much. Especially if they find out that you know anything.
I'm guessing it's the Thieves Guild. Am I right?
He nods.
Ooh. Score one for Martha, I guess. Put that on the crossword.
It was a bit of a arrangement. I've told you before how I fell into this, you know, and he gestures to the air just like everywhere around. Well, it started off a little, and I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I kind of fell into this too.
I guess it just comes with the business, doesn't it?
Maybe a bit, but I can't tell you what we're doing. But I am trying to get out of it.
Just please be careful.
I will. I'm working on one last job, actually. You inspired me to finally to stop, you know.
She sort of smiles gently at that. You know, I've been meaning to do a trade route to Ustad for the past 2 weeks, but I haven't wanted to leave. I should probably do that one of these days and just head back, but I'm like, no, I don't want to leave.
It's okay. Go, do your business. Hopefully I'll be done mine by then.
Well, now I'm just worried about you even more. I respect you for wanting to get out of the business, and I'm so proud of you, but I also don't want you to get yourself in trouble.
Oh, I've been in worse.
You mean a lot to me, Conrad.
You mean a lot to me too. Heck, I mean a lot to me.
She looks like she's about to say something else, but actually, let me roll here to see if she actually says it.
What is it? You look like there's something on your mind.
I don't know. Um, I don't want to scare you off, is all.
Ah, you just found out I'm part of the syndicate. Couldn't be much worse than that.
Lord, I feel like one of those young schoolgirls again. Give me a second. She sort of fans herself. I think I love you?
Oh, that's all. And he kind of like puts his hand on your shoulder and then like puts his hand through your hair a little bit. Well, I knew that already.
I'm not very good at hiding secrets like that, am I?
He smiles. I love you too.
She gives him a big kiss. You make me so happy. And it's been a long time since I've been able to be happy. I don't think you understand how much that means to me.
I don't, but I'll take your word for it. He kind of just gives you a hug and like that, like a back rubby hug.
Oh. She picks him up a bit. Just sort of. Not really pick him up, but like grab him and then roll him on top of her. Oh, come here.
Oi, oh. Well then. And Ragnar, who is waiting, all like, is like packing his stuff. Just hears just like a from the other side of the wall. And that's where we fade out.
All right.
Given the nature of this establishment, I'm sure he hears a lot of that anyway.
Yeah, there's actually kind of like a couple going on simultaneously right now, so it's like
It's like,
like
oh,
They're making,
another
they're,
one's
making,
at
they're
it.
making a little they're making a little beat together.
yeah, they're like an
Dun,
orchestra.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right. So I suppose I will catch you guys next week then. We will pick off where we left off. Pick up where we left off.
Go where we left up.
That's right.
Alright.
Heck yeah.